Welcome back to another video here on the channel. This time around, I'm going to have my wish list for NHL 22. So EA came out with an announcement that they're going to be announcing, revealing the game like on August 19th. So before that happens, I'm going to list 5 things that I want to see in the game. And just saying, again, they've announced a few things. Like it's either leaked or it's pretty clear on their website. They brought in frostbite engine, which if I made the wish list earlier would have been a feature that I do not want to see in the game because you know what happened with Madden and FIFA. It kind of just ruined gameplay, but honestly, there's less collisions in hockey than in football, so maybe it could be better. It could not be just game breaking because in football there's like 20 plus collisions every single time, and it could cause into that. But let's get right into it here. First things first. First thing I want to see in NHL 22 is Winter Classic and outdoor games in general. In and when I mean that, I do not mean only in like a play now type of mode. I want it in like every game mode. All game modes, be a pro, franchise mode. It would add immersion to every mode, pretty much. And pretty much another game mode into the game. It could be a game mode itself, too, in some play now. It hasn't been in the game since the Xbox 360 PS3 era. It has not been in ever since NHL 14. And I'm not the only one that has begged for this return. Next gen. Next gen on PS5 and Xbox Series X is the perfect time. The perfect time to bring it back. Okay? Because you're going to have way better graphics. Just way better looking stadiums as well. So it has to be. It should happen. And also, on top of that, we should not get like one venue either. We should get more venues into the game, and it should also be depending on the place too. So if it's like Chicago Blackhawks hosting, for example, the Washington Capitals, it should be on Soldier Field, the stadium of the Chicago Bears. Every stadium should be in the game, and out other outdoor games. I mean, and that is Winter Classic, Stadium Series, Heritage Classic, and I think that's it for the type of outdoor games. But man, it has to be back in the on next gen. It has to be back. So that's pretty much it for the first request here. Second request, second thing I want, better customization. It's not it's not the worst right now. The state of it, it's not the worst, but it's definitely just not the best. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not the best. It could be better. Like EA should let us just add more detail into our characters, arenas, equipment. Goalie masks are a big problem. Goalie masks, especially for expansion franchise, for in World of Chell as well. In World of Chell, you need to be able to customize your mask or something. You know, like what you could do as well is have that uploading system like 2K has, and then lets you upload your own gear. But you know, it shouldn't be a problem. It's not like creating teams because while you're creating a team and you upload stuff, it could be possible that players just put in some shady stuff, upload some shady stuff. Okay, so limit that to goalie customization if you want, and that's pretty much it. But goalie mask, I'm going to go more in deep in that subject. especially for expansion franchise. If you're not trading for a goalie, the goalie you start up with has that ugly LA Kings type of mask, which is not really their mask, but it's just a gray mask that you cannot customize into your team colors. For what reason? There's like no reason it shouldn't be in the game. At least if you just do not want to let us do it, don't give us some ugly mask at all. Like, it shouldn't be a thing. It's also for faces, add new faces. It's been the same for years. It's been the same for years. Add new faces, add new logos for expansion teams. You can add new uniform types as well. It's it needs a change. It needs to be added every like 2 years. It's been like 3 years already. Yeah, it hasn't been. We haven't had new customization of logos and jerseys. At least 3 years. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for that. Hopefully it's in because it would save a lot of lives too. But yeah, third feature here, third thing I want is All-Star Game. The All-Star Game needs to be in. It needs to be in along with a skills competition. And after NHL 14, I thought they were going to evolve off that NHL 14 All-Star Game thing, where you could have skills competition before, more evolved. But since then, they removed it completely. They just removed the All-Star Game completely in all modes. I mean, you can go play now and play between All-Stars, but it's not really. It's like it's pretty dumb. But yeah, it should be a thing. Add it to every mode. It's not a game-breaking feature. It's not like it's not something that would absolutely change the game by a lot, but it would. It would by a good margin. Like be a pro, creates more storylines with your character. Your character, oh, skills competition, tears it up. All-Star game tears it up. Yay. It's storylines for that. And for franchise mode, you get to see the players you drafted, the players you traded for, the players on your team as all-stars. So that would do a lot. This feature would do a lot for a lot of modes. The main modes pretty much. But yeah, also another thing for the skills competition, it should be a mode as well. Should be a mode. You have it as a mode. You can play with friends, maybe online even, probably online too. You could have an online mode for that, or you can just play with your friends at home and shit like that. Local play, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, third thing, third thing right there is the ability to rebrand in franchise mode. I had it. I had it as a feature request back for NHL 21. I'm gonna keep having it. If the NHL lets EA do it, you should be able to do it in the game. EA has no excuse to not add it. I mean, it is possible that the NHL just says, no, we do not want you to do that. We do not, because the NHL is responsible for what EA is allowed and is not allowed to add into the game. But if you can, do it. Because it would actually let you do more things into the mode. Like, make it your franchise mode. Have more control into your team. And if you want, you can add alternate uniforms even. Some uniform concepts. You can translate them into game. It would be that simple. If you don't like the primary logo of your team, change it. Or if you want to go back into into some old logos and pretty much rebrand, like the Ottawa Senators did it last year, and the Arizona Coyotes are doing this year with their Kachina type of uniforms. They're bringing back. from the 90s. Uh, d- do it. Honestly, do it. But yeah, man, that is pretty much it for this feature. Feature number. Wait a sec. So I'm gonna look back at what we covered. So what we did, we covered outdoor games. Okay. Second off, uh, I went over customization. Okay, it has to be deeper. And third, I covered the rebranding feature. Okay, feature number four. Feature number four. What I want, it's a franchise mode feature. Contract clauses. It is so surprising that it is not in the game yet. I do not know how this is a feature that's not in the game. You have coaches, you have this and that, you have all these amazing features, but contract clauses. What I should be able to do, I should be able to negotiate while negotiating, offer putting contract clauses on the player, no move clauses, modify 10 team contract clause too. It should be a thing for free agency, for contract extensions, and also what it does, it can prevent you from cheesing the system. It can prevent you from cheesing the system because what you don't realize is that I bet every casual player starting a Buffalo Sabres franchise would have started off and then first thing they do is trade Jeff Skinner and Cal Oposo. Well, these two guys till the end of their contracts, they have contract clauses. They cannot be traded unless they want to. And also another feature, you can ask the player if he can waive his contract clause for you to move him. If he says no, you can't. If he says yes, yeah, his contract clause is waived, and you're good. You can trade him. Honestly, this is a feature that should be one that's turned off because there's for sure going to be casual players, are going to complain about it going on. So it should be something that gets turned on and off because you're going to always have these type of players who just love cheesing the system and just let them do it. But they shouldn't be complaining that making trade is too easy when you have this feature that it can turn off that makes it challenging as well. So that's pretty much it. Another thing, I'm going to put in an honorable mention into the video here. I'm going to squeeze it between the fourth and fifth. It's a little thing. It's a tiny little thing. It's a tiny little thing. What if we had, uh, what if we just had computer players celebrating, but with their celebrations that are locked in? Like, you put, for example, Panarin doing his kick celly. It would add more immersion into the game instead of just him doing some generic type of celly. And adding on to that, other honorable mentions, being able to do more custom celebrations. Okay? I shouldn't have to be stuck with only one where I press triangle or Y. What you should have the option to do, you take four or five cellies, and then you put a button for each one of them. So because you could have many celebrations you like in this, but you only have to choose one. So it's kind of bait. But yeah, that's it. The fifth feature, what I want for the fifth feature is draft classes. I want draft class upload. Making draft classes for rosters for franchise mode is such a pain in the ass. This is such a pain in the ass to make. It shouldn't be a pain in the ass. Honestly, you have to create every single player. If you don't want to add roster sharing completely, just have this at least, so that we could just take care of the rosters, editing every single team. Uh, I mean, it's more of a feature for the roster editors, but yeah, it should be a thing. You can get accurate draft classes, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's the end of it. Tell me, you guys, what you want in the comments. If it's your first time stopping by, subscribe. One little message here. Comment section. I do not want to see anybody just bashing the game. You can criticize the game because that's what the game needs, if anything. But honestly, you shouldn't be bashing the game because people like you are the reason why EA has really nothing to listen. Okay? What do they have to listen if all you're going to do is just say, oh, it's the same game every year? Reach out to them, go into their forums, and then tell them what's wrong, and don't attack developers either. Because I remember the last time when NHL 15 freaking released, people were attacking developers as if it was okay. Being racist and shit. So, we do not want one of that. If anything, criticism is what the game needs, but not just absolute toxicity within the community. But yeah,